Hello, Dr. James Bogash, expert in health and longevity, and in today's research review, we're going to talk about Coenzyme Q10 or CoQ10. And it's been around for a long time as a supplement, and the first thing to understand is that Coenzyme Q10 in our own bodies, because we manufacture our own CoQ10, is absolutely essential for the generating of energy. So like ATP, mitochondrial function, Coenzyme Q10 is absolutely essential for that process to occur. It's in all of our cells. It's also called ubiquinone, as in it's ubiquitous, it's everywhere. And did I say it's absolutely functional or absolutely required for healthy functioning cells? The more energy a cell uses, the more it needs Coenzyme Q10. So think high respiration cells like our brain, our muscles, our heart. Those are all things that use a lot of Coenzyme Q10. All of our cells use it, but those cells require an awful lot of it. So given that the heart is a high respiratory organ, Coenzyme Q10 has a pretty good track record of helping with cardiovascular issues. And we're going to get to a little oddity with that. We're going to talk a little bit about dosages as well as forms, because those are two important questions. But this study looked at 5 randomized controlled trials in 1,200 people, 600 men, 600 women, and across the trials, they found that Coenzyme Q10 was effective at increasing ejection fraction, so how well the left side of the heart was working, generally considered small to moderate, increased mitochondrial function, it increased exercise capacity, increased flow-mediated dilation, like lots of good things without much of a downside. The typical dosages in the study were 1 to 300 milligrams. 1 to 300 milligrams, depending upon quality, it's going to run you anywhere from 10 to 30, 40, 50 bucks a month, depending upon which brand you go with. And interestingly enough, there's a lot of hype about the reduced form, so ubiquinone versus ubiquinol, and the ubiquinol is usually much more expensive. I remember going down a rabbit hole on this one years ago, and I found that the difference is really pretty minimal. So yeah, it's probably not worth it to spend the extra money on the reduced form, because it's just not that much better, and these studies consistently did not find a difference in those forms either. So it makes a lot of sense that Coenzyme Q10 plays a huge role in cardiac function without really any downside to supplementing it. So if somebody's got a cardiovascular issue, like Coenzyme Q10 makes sense. Here's the just crazy thing about the world of cardiology that we live in is that statins, so like atorvastatin, rosuvastatin, your Lipitor, your Crestor, they lower cholesterol, but cholesterol and Coenzyme Q10, they're on the same pathway. So when the body makes the same pathway it uses to make cholesterol, it uses to make Coenzyme Q10. Coenzyme Q10 is absolutely critical for our cells to function. I think I've mentioned that. So there's a lot of ethical questions about whether we should be blocking that pathway that the human body considers so critical that cholesterol is also on. So a lot of times some people will say, hey, if you're taking statins, you need to take Coenzyme Q10, but it just kind of this whole dependence on statins with very little benefit, chance of side effects, and if it's blocking Coenzyme Q10, it really makes you question is it really helping, or is it harming more than it's helping? Or would it be helping more if we took Coenzyme Q10 with it, or if they weren't on the same pathway? I certainly have been very vocal about my opinion of cholesterol-lowering medication versus lifestyle. In statins, generics are readily available now. They're about $1 to $30 a month. So price comparison is pretty equivalent, and so that's not even an argument. Side effects, there's really no side effects with Coenzyme Q10. With statins, people can have, most of the data suggests that anybody on statins is experiencing some degree of muscle damage. So levels of enzymes associated with muscle damage go up in just about everybody taking statins. Coenzyme Q10 is the opposite direction. It's designed to help with cardiac function. So it's not routinely used in cardiology. It's been done, as a matter of fact, they identified 243 studies, of which they picked 5 that met the criteria they were looking for. But this is readily studied over the years. No downsides to it, and relatively minimal expense. So if you've got any cardiology problems, issues, it might make sense to add CoQ10. As always, I'll post a link to this particular study in the description. Make sure you like this video, share it with somebody who thinks needs information, and subscribe to the channel.